Coming up, ICE agents spotted at a Puerto Rican museum. Floods killed dozens in Texas. A camera found in the bathroom of a local business. Plus, the proposed ban on masks for ICE agents. The Reptile Roadshow comes to town. And comic book characters get a whole new look in the suburbs. This is your Fox 32 Chicago Week in Review.
Local officials say the feds tried to intimidate workers at the museum and could be preparing major action at an upcoming family festival. Political reporter Paris Schutz joins us now with more. Paris.
Yeah, Dawn, Chicago alders say they're gathering more information on what exactly happened last night during this visit to the National Museum of Puerto Rican Arts and Culture in Humboldt Park. Now, security footage there shows agents coming up into the parking lot, 10 cars or more, and then coming toward the building. Museum officials say they did not have a warrant and then were told repeatedly to leave the private property, but the officials did not. One official allegedly asked to use the bathroom, but then came in and then cased the center. Now, they worry that the agents are preparing action for this weekend's Barrio Arts Fest, expected to be attended by families and small children, and so they're stepping up security.
You can't just come into communities and start looking at Latino people and saying, well, maybe they're undocumented, so I'm going to handcuff them, right? Which seems to be the tactic that we're watching ICE, the National Guard, and other cities sort of implement very widely. But here in Chicago, we are going to stand firm in that you're not going to enter private property. You're not going to come into cultural events without a judicial warrant. It's a violation of the Constitution. It's a violation of people's rights, and quite frankly, it's illegal.
And museum officials say the agents didn't tell them why they were there casing the building, but also worry about an upcoming Colombian festival that's going to happen there. They're not sure why they were being targeted, as Puerto Ricans are American citizens and thus can't be deemed illegal or deported. Now, official with Federal Immigration and Customs Enforcement did return our message in the last hour. We'll get to that in a second, but local officials say they're now on high alert.
We're having attorneys on site to ensure that if they were to come back in any way, shape, or form, that we would have the right representation without disrupting the family-free festival. It would be very ignorant on their behalf to attempt to come in to a family festival with children and seniors and community members, but I wouldn't put it past them, so we're prepared.
And that statement from Homeland Security said that the agents were not targeting the Puerto Rican Museum. They wanted to use the parking lot as a staging ground for a narcotics investigation that they're working on, but they did not answer follow-up questions as to whether or not they had a warrant to be there and whether or not they had warned museum officials in advance that they were going to be on their property. We're going to have much more on this tonight at 9:30 on Paris on Politics.
State officials are now saying 94 people have died, nearly 30 of them children, after a flash flood tore through a Texas summer camp.
Crews are searching for several others still missing. Sarah Legray is live from Kerrville. Sarah, walk us through how this all happened so quickly.
Well, Terrence and Sylvia, it's the timing of this rain. We saw a lot of it in a very short amount of time. So the ground wasn't able to soak up all that moisture. It was so incredibly saturated. It pushed all of that rainwater downhill, flooding this river, allowing all of this debris to be spread throughout this location. I mean, we're talking about the Guadalupe River reaching and surging up to 26 feet in less than an hour. And the height there, that's the height of a two-story house. Now, here I am in Guadalupe Park in this area. We have the river behind me, but as we move up this hill, you could see just how far the debris was able to travel, uprooting some of these trees, throwing debris. We have a golf cart here, just the remnant of this area, and it just goes to show you the strength that we saw. Now, we talked to a couple of residents in nearby Ingram. They say they were trapped for nearly a day.
We weren't able to get across. Matter of fact, it was over 24 hours that we weren't able to get across the creek. Just a lot of devastation. Trees that were beautiful were no longer there.
It never happened in this community at all, period. It just, I don't know, it's heartbreaking. Real heartbreaking. It's hard to talk about it. Get emotional.
Yeah, just a lot of raw emotion right now, as you can imagine, in this community. Now, looking at the timing here, a flood watch was issued Thursday afternoon, and by early Friday, those warnings escalated rather quickly. Now, we saw the most extreme damage at a Christian summer camp for girls called Camp Mystic in Hunt, Texas. That's where the Guadalupe River peaked just after 4:30 a.m., hitting nearly 30 feet in a time span of 45 minutes. Now, the focus since then, search and rescue. Around 850 people have been rescued so far. Now at Camp Mystic, we did get the confirmation from them earlier this morning. 27 have died, while 10 children and 1 camp counselor are still missing. Governor Abbott has since issued a state disaster declaration in over a dozen counties. President Trump is also sending federal disaster assistance with plans to visit Kerr County potentially by the end of this week. In the meantime, people just staying aware there is a flood watch for this area lasting until about 7 p.m. local time. That can mean extensive rain in portions of central Texas and areas already hit hard by the rain that we saw over the holiday weekend. In the meantime, we are expected to hear from local and state officials tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. local time. Taryn, Sylvia, back to you.
All right, thanks for that report. And you can join Fox's support of recovery efforts following the devastating floods in Texas. Your donation supports the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country's relief and rebuilding efforts. Go to Fox/TX Flood Relief or scan that QR code on your screen. The money will support the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund.
That's right, and we are learning new details tonight. Police say 29 employees were secretly filmed using that bathroom. The man charged was in court today, and he wasn't caught because someone spotted that hidden camera. But when police found evidence after arresting him for another crime.
They feel violated, of course, and they're having a hard time getting past this.
In a private, gender-neutral employee bathroom at Pure's Food Specialties, a cookie and snack manufacturing facility in North Lake. Police say 45-year-old Jesus Salazar, a maintenance supervisor, was filming men and women with a hidden camera.
Locker rooms, bathrooms, you would expect a sense of privacy in those areas.
Peter Sadelsky is an attorney representing 2 of the victims. He says the camera was installed under the sink facing the toilet.
It must have been shocking and disgusting to know that someone videotaped them in such a compromising position without their consent and knowledge for months at a time.
The discovery was only made after Salazar was arrested earlier this year in Glen Ellen for criminal sexual assault of a minor. According to the police report, during their investigation, detectives found a mini camera and memory card in his backpack.
Saw videos of individuals using the restroom completely naked, and that's when they learned that this video was shot at the bathroom at Pure's Food Specialties.
The police report also states one of the videos show the offender setting up the video device inside the restroom stall.
I just cried. I was overwhelmed. I was scared.
We spoke with one of the victims who asked us not to reveal their identity.
I use the washroom so you can see all of our parts.
We have also distorted their voice.
I'm scared that he would get out and go work anywhere else where there's even kids and other people where he can record. I don't want him to be able to walk free.
Salazar was arraigned in court Tuesday morning, but released with conditions and placed on home confinement. Victims say the violation has caused emotional distress and anxiety and are looking for accountability.
Everywhere I go, I make sure I look under the sink or just look around. You never know how people think.
Should not happen to anyone. It's repulsive, and I really hope that they could get justice.
We've made multiple attempts to reach Pure's Food Specialties for comment, but have not yet heard back. Salazar is due in court next month for this case, but he will face a judge for those sexual assault charges in DuPage County in just 2 weeks.
I tell you, this was big news, big unexpected news for many travelers here at Midway Airport. Even when we reached out to the Chicago Department of Aviation, they were still waiting on directives from federal authorities. The new shoe policy expected to expedite operations at all airports nationwide.
They didn't have pre-check, so I waited with them and had to take my shoes off.
But not anymore. Effective immediately nationwide.
TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem saying the goal is to improve the traveling experience while maintaining safety standards.
It's good. I think I don't want to be barefooted walking on a dirty floor. Come on now.
I think it's great. I honestly have TSA pre-check. I've had it for a few years, and it's made travel much easier for myself. It goes quick.
Travelers walking through metal detectors shoeless has been in effect 20 years here in the U.S. after an attempted terrorist attack in 2001. A man hiding explosives in his shoes aboard a plane from Paris to Miami. Officials say security technology has evolved since.
There's one less thing that we have to do.
It is. However, I feel like unless they have the other things done within reasonable time correctly, you're still spending time.
Reportedly, airports in Baltimore, Fort Lauderdale, Cincinnati, Portland, Philly, and North Carolina had already rolled out the new policy ahead of today's announcement.
So there will be individuals at times that will be asked to remove their shoes. If we think there is additional layers of screening that is necessary, that may still happen to an individual.
And again, unless you have pre-check, you'll still have to remove your belt, also your computer and other electronic devices from your carry-ons. Again, the new shoe policy goes into effect immediately nationwide.
Well, hopefully someone sees her from our story and calls police and she gets the help that she needs. Her name is Anitra Davis, also known as Grace. She had been struggling with postpartum depression when she vanished. Tonight, her mother is speaking out, hoping someone out there can help bring her daughter home.
She was so disoriented before, so she might be disoriented still. I don't know if she's in a shelter or what, so I don't know. Yes, I'm still waiting for her to come home.
So on June 15th, the 28-year-old mother of two was last seen leaving her home here in the 7600 block of South Yates, walking to church. A day later, she was identified at a hospital. From there, she was transferred to another hospital, Loyola's McNeil Hospital in Berwyn, where she remained under care for 10 days. During her stay, Anitra reportedly told hospital staff she did not want any visitors. Her mother only learned of her whereabouts after receiving a call from Anitra's roommate claiming that she was discharged. It's still unclear why she was released, but her mother says the roommate did confirm Anitra wasn't herself and was actually talking to herself. Anitra Davis is the mother of a 10-month-old little boy and a 2.5-year-old daughter. Her daughter keeps asking the question, where's my mommy?
She was still disoriented. She was not herself. I overlooked the signs. I overlooked when she said, Mom, because she's not a complainer, never been. For the last few months, she said, I'm so exhausted, Mom, so exhausted.
Davis's family believes she could be in a shelter. She has no money and no cell phone. If you see her, don't hesitate to call Chicago police. And of course, we did reach out to the hospital for a statement, and so far, we're back.
Coming up, a bill to ban ICE agents from wearing masks, a new book on the Browns chicken massacre, and a radio show may have saved a life.
We're joined today by Block Club reporter Francia Garcia Hernandez. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's start with this. Local officials, and this includes 7 Illinois representatives, they are co-sponsoring a bill in the state legislature to require ICE employees not to wear masks. Do you think this is going to go anywhere, and what are the specifics?
Yes, this in the context of where this is coming, it's a national push. We've seen this in California, where state lawmakers are proposing a law that would ban ICE agents from wearing masks while on the job in the state. This other bill is a federal bill that would reform the Department of Homeland Security to ask ICE agents or anyone from the department to not wear masks and to wear some sort of name tag or uniform that would help people identify them as ICE agents. This comes in response to concerns by community members and by people who say they're afraid someone might be impersonating an officer, or who are afraid if there was some sort of abuse or escalation of a force that they wouldn't be able to hold officers accountable, and they're at the end public servants. So this is where the push is coming from.
I see. So we'll see if that goes anywhere. We'll continue to follow that story. And then on to another headline. There's a collective and it's expanding and it's called Frutas. Explain that.
Yes, so it's a long-standing collective for LGBTQ plus community members who are Spanish speakers. Whether they're beginners or they're native speakers, this space creates an opportunity for them to practice Spanish, but also be introduced to the culture, the arts, and the language. So they host talks with poets, artists, they do, all sorts of gatherings, and they call it like a social potluck for Spanish speakers to practice their skills and just be in that culture.
So if you check out the article, you can see, I assume, when they meet up and how often and how you can join the group, right?
Yes, and some upcoming exhibitions and different events they're putting together.
This is one of my favorite stories from this week, the Strange Bar Sunday. It all started with two friends who were out running errands, and then they kind of took a turn, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They stumbled upon a bar that they wanted to check out, and that has turned into a long journey of discovering hidden gems in Chicago. It's just the bars that are strange places where you can really see what the city is about. The two friends chose to remain anonymous to keep getting that authentic experience and feel while they go out in the city and discover all of these institutions, some of them long-standing bars, some of them newer bars. Nevertheless, they're strange. And they say a dive bar is not always a strange bar, and a strange bar is not always a dive bar. It's all about what happens inside.
I know, it just their description of the clientele, I mean, it really is neat. It's called Strange Bar Sunday, and like you had mentioned, they have an Instagram account where they detail these, and they've been doing it for years, but you can read the article on Block Club Chicago. And finally, we're going to end on this, the best places to grab a sandwich in Chicago if you're headed to one of the beaches.
Yes, you can check out our guide. So one of our reporters compiled a list of beaches and delis and cafes where people can get a sandwich and walk or bike to the beach of their preference. So it's really a great article, great pictures. As you can see, everything looks delicious, but whether you're in the north side or the south side, you can find a perfect sandwich spot and then head over to the beach and enjoy this beautiful weather.
And it's not your typical like ham and cheese either. You've got Vietnamese versions, yes, and lots of different ethnicities of foods represented in the list.
Yes, no, definitely. It's just Chicago, right? We have all sorts of people, all sorts of diversity, and that's reflected in the sandwich menu as well. So people can try something new, maybe hit out a beach that they don't usually go to, stop by, grab a sandwich, and then go. Just find all those details at blockclubchicago.org, and we have a weekly newsletter with food recommendations so people can subscribe as well.
Great. Francia, thank you so much.
Officials say kids who shouldn't be operating motorized vehicles to begin with are cutting off cars and running red lights. This suburb is just one of many passing ordinances aimed at addressing that. As e-bikes surge in popularity, several suburbs are hitting the brakes.
Every town's had enough of it. They're fed up with it. And bottom line is this. It's all about safety.
Elk Grove Village Mayor Craig Johnson points to their surveillance cameras that captured these images Tuesday.
About 20, what we call mini dirt bikes, were going down the village Main Street, Biesterfield Road, and just went right through the light and everything.
Officials say they also fled from officers, and according to police, the crew of kids was weaving through traffic. The mayor says it's not the first time.
Someone's going to get killed. We don't want that to happen in Elk Grove.
A recently passed ordinance states that and motorbikes are not allowed on public sidewalks. To operate them on streets, riders need to have a valid driver's license and obey the rules of the road.
There needs to be some sort of safety and regulation on that.
Community member Amy Tripp is welcoming the new limits.
And they're not looking out because they're thinking they're pedestrians. But then the people driving are having to worry about these quick and fast. It's an accident waiting to happen.
Any kids caught violating the ordinance will be held until their parent or guardian comes to pick them up. Plus, they'll be taking home a ticket between $50 and $200. 5 minors were identified from Tuesday's incident and fined. One of them, Johnson says, drove quite the distance.
Unlicensed, all the way from Hanover Park into Oak Grove. So these things are not just little harmless things people make out of them. These are full-size operating machines that should be licensed by the state and controlled by people that know how to use them, i.e. a driver's license.
Electric scooters can be used on sidewalks here, but riders must follow proper safety rules. To ride an e-scooter in the street, you will need a license. Glen Ellen, Hinsdale, and Schaumburg are among the other suburbs passing similar ordinances.
The Brown's Chicken Massacre is one of the most brutal and infamous crimes in the history of our area, and now it's the subject of a new true crime book.
In this exclusive report, our Dane Placco has more on how the book focuses on the victims.
Everyone seems to have a story of this case, of where they were or a connection to it in some way.
Attorney Patrick Wohl was a child living in Park Ridge in January of 1993 when the murders jolted Chicago and the nation.
Police found 7 people all shot to death near the rear of the Brown's Chicken in Palatine. 4 of the dead have been identified as teenagers, 3 as adults.
The owners of the Brown's Chicken restaurant and 5 employees shot to death in what at the time was believed to be a botched robbery.
There are a number of leads that the chief and his investigators and the sheriff investigators are following up. I wouldn't describe it as square one.
Now, decades later, Wohl has written a new true crime book about those murders called Something Big, which is what one of the killers said he and his buddy were planning.
What I've found in the past is that often this story is told by people who have no connection to Chicago, they're getting facts wrong, and most importantly, they never share the stories of the people that this actually impacted.
Wohl spoke to a number of victims' families and decided to make their stories a major part of the book.
I try to tell their stories in the first third of the book in a much more, I think, humane way than in the past it has been done, by focusing on that rather than the gore of the crime itself.
At the time, frustration mounted as the leads went cold, as I reported about a month after the murders.
Dane Placco just back from Palatine with an update, which we haven't had in a while.
We have not, Robin and Chris. It was exactly 4 weeks ago tonight. In fact, right about this time, shortly after 9 o'clock, the workers locked the front doors to the restaurant.
But today, Wohl tells me his research leads him to believe that criticism of the Palatine Police Department was unfounded.
That this case was botched, that the Palatine Police messed it up and they weren't equipped to handle it. And I think with the clarity of hindsight and 30 years having passed, this is not true.
Wohl says Palatine Police quickly formed a large task force incorporating federal agencies and other police departments. But
ultimately, no police department was going to solve this until someone came forward in the way that eventually was solved.
The book also focuses on a key piece of evidence, a chicken bone found in the dining room trash that was stashed in a freezer for years by an evidence tech.
In 1993, the technology didn't exist because of the very small sample of saliva that was there. Fast forward a couple years later, in 1998, they were able to extract a DNA sample, but they needed a match, and they did not have a match at that point.
That didn't come until 2002, when a former girlfriend of one of the suspects came forward and implicated James Degorski and Juan Luna, a former Browns employee whose DNA matched the chicken bone.
What people read in the book is Ann Lockett, obviously, we hoped that she had come forward earlier, but I think there was genuine fear from her. There were threats made against her life by Jim Degorski and Juan Luna. Jim Degorski had a violent past, and so I think people will see that there was genuine fear for her life in that. And ultimately, she did the right thing.
An enduring mystery of this case is the motive, which was assumed to be robbery. But Wohl says Degorski's promise of doing something big indicates this was actually a thrill killing.
That's one of the unique things about this case, is that they committed this horrible, horrible act, and then after lived pretty normal lives.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
I think I got a problem.
What's that?
So what started out as a call to an Indiana radio station turned into something much bigger. A man needed help, and the listeners, who are like family, ran to help.
And WJLB's The Morning Call host Tom Daberden says we could all learn something from the entire ordeal.
I think I got a problem.
What's that?
It all started with a distress call from a regular listener, Mike.
When I'm trying to walk, I'm real wobbly. My mouth is dry. My head's pounding, and it's like I'm practically, I can see the bus. I can see the trucks. I can't read any writing. Everything's so blurry.
Mike, why don't you call 911? Seriously? Why don't you get checked out by the paramedics? Okay, Mike hung up. Why don't we take a break? I'm going to try and reach Mike, folks. Something's not right, so I'm going to try and reach him. Many of the regular callers to my program have my cell phone number, my personal cell, and like anything else, it becomes family, just like your workplace, and many of the callers have my personal cell and will reach out to me. And so when Mike first became disoriented and felt ill, he actually texted me a message, but the message didn't make any sense except for the last 4 letters, which were HELP. So I realized he was asking for help. And that's when we took a quick break from being on the radio.
Other regular callers who often don't agree on much when it comes to politics or even the weather heard all of it and decided together they needed to help.
About the same time, 2 of our regular callers, Dave Gurman, also known as Dave from Gary, and Perry Stabler, who usually goes by the nickname MX, called me and said, we heard the call, does he need help? And I said, yes, he does. They went out to the scene. Dave Gurman got there first and was able to find him, get him to go to his pickup truck, get him into an air-conditioned area and kind of calm him down. MX showed up a few minutes later, also assisted Dave, and then Dave went to get the Gary Fire Department because the location that Mike Margus works at is a little hard for the fire department to get into.
Perry followed the ambulance, and Dave stayed at the hospital with Mike until late in the evening Wednesday.
Mike is doing well. He's undergoing tests, and he continues to stay in the hospital. But I'm really proud of the fact that our listeners and callers jumped in right away. And again, under normal circumstances, Dave and Perry call in all the time, but they disagree on most issues. Politics, sports, the weather, you name it, they'll disagree. But in this particular incident, they both jumped into their vehicles and found this gentleman who was in distress and were able to get him medical treatment.
And the Morning Call host, Tom Daberden, has a message for them all.
Well, first of all, to Mike, all the listeners and all the viewers of WJOB are just so happy that he's doing well. And I'm personally honored by the fact that he reached out to me when he was in a time of need. And Dave and Perry, just great gentlemen. They both really, truly care about their fellow man. And what this story really says is that we can disagree politically. We can have disagreements about everything that's going on in the world. But when push comes to shove, when there's an emergency, we're still all one group of individuals. We're still all one people. And I'm proud of the fact that they went out and assisted him.
A lesson, he says, for all of us. Dawn Hasbrook, Fox 32 News.
Coming up, close up and personal with the Reptile Roadshow. Take a tour of the Windy City Smokeout. And a popular band has all their gear stolen.
The North Riverside Park Mall has a Reptile Roadshow, and they are here to show us some of the stars coming up this weekend. We're joined by Jean Heller. She is the marketing director of North Riverside Park Mall. Colin Langendorfer and Mike Levins, they are the co-owners of Crosstown Exotics. Sounds like a car dealership, but that's not exactly what they're talking about. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for coming in here. We're going to start with Jean. Tell us about the Reptile Roadshow coming to the mall. When is it and why?
Good morning, Mike. Thank you for having us. The Reptile Roadshow is part of a kids club group of events that we do. We present 12 events a year for just for kids. There are 40 events that we present for the community throughout the year, and it's kind of our way of building community.
Mhm.
This event is the 4th year in a row that we've done it. It is really popular with kids. We see the same kids coming year after
Really?
year, and this one is...
They're going to be adults soon.
They're going to
Yeah.
be adults soon, yes. So Saturday, July 12th, this Saturday at 11 a.m., it's a 1-hour show. We keep activities going for 2 hours so people can enjoy them all, but it's a great way to familiarize yourself or reduce fears of animals, and it's really educational and entertaining. Not everyone has to wear a snake.
You don't need to wear a snake to enjoy these animals. All right, Colin and Mike, what attracted you to reptiles, amphibians, exotic animals?
Yeah.
Start with you, Colin.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I was actually allergic to all the furry creatures. So it was just kind of a natural gravitation to these animals. But the more you get into them, how could you not be fascinated? I mean, they're animals that, these animals don't have legs, but yet they're the most versatile species on the planet. Land, sea, and air. Not air, but in the trees, arboreal.
Trees, sure.
But very cool creatures, especially like this green anaconda here. Green anacondas are the heaviest bodied species of snake on the planet. They can get anywhere between 400 to 600 pounds in some cases.
This one weighs about how much?
Around 50 to 60 pounds.
Okay.
Yep.
And Mike, why is it important to share your passion for these animals?
I just, a lot of people, they're afraid of these animals. They think they're scary. And, we try to kind of get rid of some of those fears. There's a lot of kids that are into the stuff that just don't get to see, all these things, don't have the opportunity to go to a zoo or a pet shop or whatever. So kind of like they can come to the mall and check some of these things out. And
what are you holding now?
This is Wanda. She's our caiman lizard.
Okay.
These guys are really unique because they're very aquatic lizard. They have a back that looks just like a crocodile. And they're very, they're a specialist as far as what they eat. So she eats snails mostly.
Only snails?
Yeah.
Escargot.
Yep.
All right. And both Gene and I, we're holding corn snakes, right?
Yeah, so you're holding a corn snake. That's a palmetto corn snake.
From South Carolina.
South Carolina, yeah. Palmetto County, South Carolina is a very cool mutation. But again, just a really fun take on a very common pet, a very good pet when it comes to first-time species. And then Gene is holding a Honduran milk snake, Tango. And Honduran milk snakes get their name simply because Central American farmers would go to milk their cattle. They were all dry, and instead of blaming, biological reasons or environmental reasons, they're like, hey, this snake obviously drank all of the milk. So the name stuck.
Makes sense. What a lot of people, I think, wrongly assume is that all of these animals, particularly the reptiles, that they're slimy.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're perfectly dry. They're very, very strong. And I mean, Colin's handling, this animal could kill you. Maybe not this size, but an anaconda could
anacondas have had a record of consuming and killing people on occasion, but not so much. I think COVID was when they were really angry, and since then I think everyone's kind of calmed down. But.
Tell us, we got about 30 seconds left. You've got an African bullfrog here, right?
African giant bullfrog. His name's Maui. Of course, he turns around. We'll turn his little face here so we can see him. There we go.
There he is.
That's a great example of when you don't do leg day. But these animals are the third largest frog on the planet, getting up to 5 pounds.
Wow. And then over here we have the hissing cockroach, neither a reptile nor an amphibian, but an exotic.
Yep, and an invert. Yep. Mike?
Yeah, they're just a cool giant bug. They're harmless. They don't bite. I kind of talk to kids about how they're decomposers and roaches are important to the environment. They just end up in spots that we find kind of gross, like if we're in a restaurant or motel. But
yeah, we wouldn't want them there.
These guys here, real important role in the wild, and bugs overall are pretty important. So just kind of one of those showing kids bugs aren't scary.
Gene, give us the hour again for when folks should show up to North Riverside Park Mall to see all of these fabulous animals and maybe have an opportunity to get hands-on.
Sure. This Saturday, July 12th, 11 a.m. at North Riverside Park Mall. You can register on the website at northriversideparkmall.com. There's an events page that gives you more ideas of the critters and everything that happens for the event.
Gene, Mike, Colin, and all of you animals, thank you for coming in here. Caitlin, you want me to bring one of these friendly creatures up for you to hold?
Sure, I'll take the little white one like you have. That one,
she's friendly.
Cute.
She is friendly.
Yeah, she's tiny itty bitty.
If only you guys could smell it. In the 8 o'clock hour, Natalie was mentioning how she wanted to see some food. Well, I'm not just bringing it to you on a table. We're actually bringing you to the background so you can see all of how it's made. I'm with Max. Max, you were the person here who knows everything to know about food and what people come here for, really.
trying
So
my
let's
best.
talk about what people can expect this year when it comes to barbecue, also when it comes to music.
Yeah, thank you. So Windy City Smokeout, we're in our 13th year. For me, it's the most fun weekend of the year. And it's not just if you love food, if you love music, it's good times. It's about Chicago. It's unbelievable. We've got 22 pitmasters here from around the country. They've all been awarded best in class in their state or in their area. We've got some of the biggest country artists. We've got pizza, we've got sausage, we've got popcorn, we've got ice cream for kids, anything in the world you could like. It's beautiful weather. It's Chicago summer at its best. You just really can't beat it.
So doors don't open until 2 o'clock, but they're already out here hard at work. It seems like not just Wright's Barbecue, but others as well.
Oh yeah, we have people cooking all overnight. We have people starting at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Barbecue, they say low and slow. It's a labor of love. So people start all day, all night to make beautiful food that people can enjoy.
Do you find that some Chicagoans have a certain reaction to trying some of the barbecue from other parts of the country here?
You know, Chicago's a very proud city. We like our own, like try to put ketchup on a hot dog or something like that. It's crazy, right? But I think that Chicago is really receptive because as barbecue is growing, especially Texas barbecue, even a lot of Chicago barbecue restaurants are kind of growing and adapting and adding some of that style. Chicago's known in general as an adventurous culinary city, so I think that Chicagoans are taking to barbecue from around the country.
Okay, I love what I'm seeing behind us, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wright's Barbecue from Arkansas, great example, some of the best in the country.
You know what? We're going to have to talk to someone who's in charge of this operation here. I'm going to go over to Jordan. Jordan, I know you're hard at work, so I'm going to squeeze in. All the way from Arkansas, and you said you've been here for a few years. How does it feel to be back at Windy City Smokeout?
Oh, it's an awesome honor. We get pumped every year we get invited. We're excited. Our team loves coming up and getting to join in the camaraderie, get to come up to what I think is one of the great culinary cities. Obviously, I think everybody does, but just get to bring the team up and go have fun and cook for a bunch of people that some we know now after 4 years of doing it. You know, we get great feedback and people love it.
Okay, let's talk about what's on their grill right now. How do you guys make this a little bit different than just a regular rack of ribs?
So this is a beef rib. This is a Texas-style beef rib. It's a short rib. It's monster bones. You're going to see a bunch of draw from the meat, and it just gets this great meaty, rich bite. It's like eating a ribeye, but like slow smoked and just delicious. It's perfectly marbled, and so it's just one of the best bites in barbecue. It really is. You just dive into this giant dino bone. So yeah, it's awesome.
How much would it mean to you to see everyone will get the extra tickets that are still available for today and tomorrow and come over to Wright's Barbecue?
Oh yeah, we love it, man. We have a great group. There's a lot of Chicagoans that have transplanted from Arkansas up here, so we've got a lot of good relationships, a lot of friends. But then, you know, all the new people, the Blackhawks fans, the Cubs fans that come out. I mean, we love the Cubs and the Blackhawks, so it's a lot of fun just to see the kind of the vibes here and just get to meet everybody.
Okay, it's fresh and it's going to be ready a little bit later. Thank you so much, Jordan and Max, for having us. Like I said, there's only some tickets available for today and for tomorrow. For Windy City Smokeout, Saturday and Sunday are sold out. But that means that next year you're just going to have to get on it ahead of time. Guys, I don't have anything to try on camera right now, so I'm just going to have to pick out off camera, I guess. So
I don't blame you.
maybe I'll bring you some. I don't know. I'm going to decide.
This trailer was stolen in broad daylight, and the pictures show it's a case of now you see it and now you don't. And unfortunately, it nearly forced this very popular Chicago reggae band to pause the music.
When I woke this morning, so the sun was shining.
In late June, under the bright summer sun, a dark moment hit. The band Jazay had their equipment trailer stolen. The timing, brutal. They had a show the next day.
I couldn't find a spot to park, so I had to park the van one way, this van one way, and I put the trailer right here. In the morning, I'm waking up to go out, do a little shopping, and then trailer's gone. I couldn't believe it.
Jazay has been blending reggae, calypso, jazz, blues, and rock for more than 35 years, spreading rhythm from Chicago to stages around the country. The trailer, parked at 107th Place and Hill Avenue in Beverly. One photo shows it safe, the next, gone.
Somebody saw me, putting stuff in, taking out, and decided, hey, a good target over here.
Lead singer Brian Rock first thought it had been towed, but after calls to the city and talks with neighbors, it became clear it wasn't towed, it was taken. Inside, microphones, guitars, amps, speakers, an entire sound system vanished.
It's been parked here for the past 8 years, and nothing has happened.
With 26 shows left this summer, Jose is now renting gear, paying as much as $700 a night to keep the music alive. Chicago police are still searching for 2 suspects.
I forgive them, man, because they think they were doing me something bad, and it works out. It work out like we're gonna come back stronger and wiser as well.
A GoFundMe set up to replace the stolen equipment is nearing the finish line, just a few $100s shy of its goal of $12,000. Even without their trailer, Jose's message is clear: the music never stops.
Thank you to the people all over the world, and Chicago especially, who has helped, donated some. And I think we're on our way to recovery, because at first I was depressed. Now I'm feeling good about it.
The band is set to start buying up new equipment, and it hasn't stopped not one show. All of their shows have continued on, and in fact, you can see them this year at the Illinois State Fair on August 8th.
Coming up, comic books like you've never seen them, a new habitat at Brookfield Zoo, and the Big Ten joins us on the Plaza.
Hi, good morning. Yes, Alex Ross, Heroes and Villains. These are not the posters you had in your bedroom, let me tell you. These are pieces of fine art. They're paintings by Alex Ross of all of your favorite, as you said, heroes and villains from Marvel and DC Comics. And joining me to tell us more about this exhibit this morning is Alex Ross's agent. This is Sal Avenanti. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, this is an incredible exhibit. This mural behind you, one of the highlights. Tell us exactly what people will find when they come here.
Well, what we wanted to create was a kind of a prestige format gallery show and galleries. These are all original gouache paintings, which is a form of watercolor. And every character you could think of from the Marvel and DC universe is kind of represented here, from the A-list characters to the B-list, to the villains, to the heroes. So I think people of all ages will remember some of these going back from the 60s to 70s to all the modern stuff.
And yeah, it's an incredible display. You were telling me, and this will be no surprise to the folks back in the studio, that Jake Hamilton is a big fan of this stuff, because of course Jake, a big fan of Marvel and DC. There's huge appeal. You were telling me even more appeal in other countries.
There is, yeah. We do shows all over the world now, and the appeal in Europe, in Asia, especially in Europe, and all the way down to Australia, is an enormous appeal with these things. This is the modern day mythology. This is not just your kids' comic books anymore.
Exactly, it is huge. And here at the Dunn Museum, these pieces will be here how long?
Through February.
Through February.
Through the fall, yeah, all summer through the fall, and then obviously over the holidays. So we're going to be here for a little bit to give everybody a chance to come out.
So what is the reaction when people come in here? You've been with Alex for, you were telling me, 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
How has the environment changed, and how do people react when they see these pieces?
It's interesting, because it's much more, it started as kind of our thing. It was something we always felt strong about. It was very important to us, being comic book artists. We weren't just fans and collectors. We were working in the business as well. But it's interesting to see how it's become more, really pop culture now. It's not, it's television. It's permeated into video games, television, movies, obviously. And, everybody has their favorite characters. Not a lot of these, not everyone will know all of them, but I guarantee you'll know some of them.
Right. And, of course, he focuses on Marvel and DC characters.
Yes.
And this is timely. We have the Superman movie coming out.
That's right. The James Gunn film, this week releases, and Marvel has a big film this summer as well. So yeah, it's kind of timely, and definitely Superman, Batman are the heavy hitters of the show.
Exactly. But to your point, these are, they're always in. They have never gone out of style.
No, these characters will be around long after we're gone. I mean, these days become such icons in America, especially Superman and Batman, and now Joker and Harley Quinn. They've become part of, our culture.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Okay,
and
so
Wonder Woman, of course, yes.
More than 100 works here on display, paintings. And too bad we couldn't meet him himself. He's kind of low-key for it. I guess focusing on the art instead.
That's it. He was here at the opening the other night. We had a big opening event, gala, on Saturday and before the holidays. But yeah, no, he sent me out this morning because He's in the studio working.
Yeah, I know. It was a full house, I heard, for
Full
that
house.
event.
It was a great show.
Yeah, no big surprise. Lots to see. Once again, it's the newly expanded Dunn Museum in Libertyville. And again, the works of Alex Ross, Heroes and Villains.
Let me tell you, we're at the Branson Tropical Forest in Brookfield Zoo. Years in the making, grand opening this weekend. We have Dr. Michael Atkinson, the president and CEO of Brookfield Zoo, with us. And we're standing right where you're going to have your big ceremony, but we've got a VIP here.
Yeah, we do. So Shango, one of our silverback male gorillas, is right here on the other side of this glass. It's just so amazing to be this close to these animals.
We are maybe less than a foot away from him.
Yeah. And, you know, he's just having a nice little snooze here on the grass this morning, but that's really what we want. We want them to be so comfortable in these new naturalistic spaces, and they're just thriving in these environments, and it's just so magical to be able to get this close to them.
Oh, amazing, even if he is napping while we're trying to talk here. He has a brother who was out earlier too.
Yeah, so Barney right now I think has gone back into the overhead path. They're still getting used to the spaces, so we're still letting them kind of choose where they're at any given point. But really just a magnificent group of animals. And this bachelor group is new for us, so we've not had this all-male group before, but it's really a wonderful thing that we're able to do here. In the wild, these males would leave their family troop, set off on their own, sometimes buddy up with another male, and that's exactly what we're able to do with this group here.
It's like a thrill to watch him. He just rolled over and took a new position. I know we have some glare here from the glass, but it is the glass that gets you good and close. As you said, you could watch different dynamics of the bachelor group, and then you have other groups as well.
That's right. So we've got our family troop of gorillas that have been with us here for many, many years, and this is a chance for them to get to explore some wonderful new outdoor spaces.
You have grand opening activities all weekend. You're also about to welcome some visitors this morning.
That's right. So our ribbon cutting ceremony is this morning, and then we open to the public tomorrow. We've got a wonderful, fun weekend of activities, animal ambassadors, bounce houses, live music, really everything we can do to celebrate this really momentous occasion for the zoo.
It is a celebration. I'm so glad that Shango came out this morning. It must have had some breakfast. You had some stuff laying around for him.
That's right. So one of the fun things about these spaces too is that the animal care specialists are able to not only just put food throughout the spaces, but we've also got timed and triggered feeders throughout so that they pop food out at different points during the day. So it really simulates that natural foraging they would do in the wild, where they spend so much of their time going around looking for things to eat.
Natural environment, yet carefully watched by people who are trained to do this.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Great. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
It's our pleasure. A wonderful weekend ahead, and then every day afterward to enjoy this brand new, gigantic, beautiful habitat.
Hey everybody, we are outside in the plaza because look what we have. These are all mascots from the Big Ten. Hey everybody, say hi to Fox 32. And we have Francois McGillicuddy joining us because there's a fun event going on this weekend. That's why they're all here. You guys do this every year. It's so much fun. Tell everybody what it is.
We do. It's the 14th year, and it's a 5K and a 10K. It's sold out this year. We got 7,500 runners.
Wow.
But we encourage everybody to come out and join the mascots. There's a great post-race tailgate party with food and games, and it's just a really fun day, and everybody can celebrate their pride around their Big Ten teams.
Which I love that, because it is all about celebrating your schools, but there's also always a good cause for something like this. So tell me about that.
Absolutely. So the cause this year is, and it's been that way for a number of years, it's special children's charities, very involved with the city of Chicago, both children and adults with developmental disabilities. So It's a great cause.
I love it. And how much fun is this? Can you follow me over here, Dee, because we're going to make some new friends. Okay, it looks like I'm talking to Penn State, right? How do you feel about repping your school?
I love it. It's an honor and privilege to be out here and rep the Alumni Association and meeting all the fans out here in the hometown of Chicago, where the Big Ten Network is from and the Big Ten is from. So it's a real honor and privilege to be here today.
Have you ever thought of a broadcasting career?
I'm trying.
You're doing a good job. Okay, so let's hear it from Penn State. Let's hear it from Michigan, Illinois, USC, Northwestern. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Wisconsin. I'm so sorry. Okay, you have to tell me the rest of them. I'm sorry. I'm a Sooner, so I'm not familiar with all these.
Well, this is the Golden Gopher from Minnesota.
Oh.
We got a Terrapin from Maryland. We've got Herky from Iowa. Okay. Don't forget about Brutus in the back there.
Brutus in the back there. Wait, I want to see the gopher do that thing again. Watch this. Come on, gopher, go for it. Ow, 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 ow. Wow, very impressive. Good job. Thank you so much. And I have to ask you, is it too late? Can people still sign up and take part?
Well, people can take part virtually, so you can go and sign up at btnbig10k.com, or you can just come out and root the runners who are going to be there. Have a great time tomorrow.
Okay, so which team is going to win? Thank you guys for coming out. So happy to have you here in our beautiful city of Chicago. And thanks again. Good luck with everything. I hope you guys raise a lot of money with this.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
This has been your Fox 32 Weekend Review. See you next week.